if you're feeling a little bit tight on that, we can always come back and do those courses next week. You know what I mean? If you're feeling a little bit tight on the old, because it's, you know, it's quite. It's better when you do it kind of full voice. I just want to see if we can get a little bit more texture into some of the sounds that, you know, that they've made so far on the record. You know, I mean, they've got a very good rhythm section in the band, so obviously I want to make sure that's sounding as good as possible. I don't want to smooth out all the edges, though. I'm very aware of the fact that they are what they are, and there's quite a lot of live performances on the record. I think it's something that I was quite keen to continue from Mick Jones's productions in the past, because there is an essence of what they capture when they play live. You don't want to kind of stick everything to a click track and make it regular all the way through, because often they're taking the timing and everything from how Pete performs his lyrics, and you know, they speed up and slow down, so I think that's sometimes it's necessary to maintain that. Pete's got a lot of baggage and kind of history and everything, and obviously that's part of his life, but I'm trying to get hold of the musician, and that's what I'm focusing on, and trying to get that person forward again. He's kind of lived this lifestyle, as it were, and it all looks like, you know, to the media it's great, it's all going great, it's having hit records, he's got a beautiful girlfriend, you know, but you know, there's a lot of problems there that have got to be sorted and addressed, and that's something that, you know, I'm not a drug counsellor, I'm a record producer, but you know, that's something that I've had lots of long conversations with Pete about, you know, because I want to tap back into that musician again. Any good band, I mean, all the best bands that I've worked with have to have a kind of good natural kind of balance within the group. I mean, if you've got a group full of frontmen, it's never going to get anywhere, you know. I mean, there was a good solid foundation in this band, as it were, with you know, with the rhythm section with Drew and Adam. I mean, they're very, very together, very tight and good players. So, but they're also quite keen to follow the way Pete wants to go. As I say, they don't like say this is the rhythm, we're going to stick to it, and you know, and Pete's going to have to follow us. I mean, they're quite keen also to kind of go with the sway, you know, as I say, with certain sort of songs that will be speeding up and slowing down. So if you want, they're the kind of good solid kind of foundation, like a good kind of workforce behind the band. Then you've got Mick, who's a very kind of I think he's obviously become, must probably Pete's main co-songwriter now within the group. Good player, you know, he's been around for a while, he knows how to play his instrument well, a good understanding for rhythm and things. So again, he's you know, he's kind of become a good kind of I guess second lieutenant, as it were, within the band for Pete. And yeah, you know, it's there is the leader, as it were, you know, obviously, you know, which is obviously Pete, and but as I said before, if, you know, there was too many Petes within the band, that would be, you know, they obviously wouldn't get very far. And so I think everyone really is trying to make sure that they're giving Pete the best possible support, both musically and what's the term I'm trying to think of here, creatively, musically, and also personally, you know, in their personal lives, you know, trying to be there, say we're there for you, you know what I mean, and we're going to make sure you know, you kind of hang in there and keep it together and get this record made, because you know, it's an important record for them. You know, there's been all this promise and you know, I mean, ever since Pete, you know, was first involved in that first Libertines album, you know, there was such a high standard set straight away, and you know, you don't always want to be in the wake of that. You want to be able to try and hit peaks again, you know.
So you had the Swede chords knocking about for a while?
No, not that long. Once I sent him an idea. Every Day's Like Sunday I had for a long time, the chords for that, and so I wrote that around the bass line. It was like an Echo and the Bunnymen type thing. That dum 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 dum. It's like a very Echo and the Bunnymen type thing. And I sent that to him on a cassette, because the idea was really just to be, when we finished Strange Ways, there was no tracks left over. Everything we recorded for that album went on the album. There was nothing left over for B-sides. And then when Johnny left, there was still, the singles were due to come out, so I sent him a cassette saying, look, you know, forgive me for being presumptuous, but if there's anything here you think you might find useful for B-sides, please feel free, you know, to use them. And then he wrote back to me. I got married to Sarah that year, came back from honeymoon. It was a postcard, because that's how I used to contact people most of the time. saying, I want to do a solo record, are you interested in doing it with me? Yeah, basically. So that was it. So then I kind of carried on. So I basically stopped doing all the kind of other engineering and production work I was doing at the time, and just focused on writing lots and lots of song ideas at home, and just sent them off all the ideas, and then that was it. And then we spent back in the he said to me, right, I'll go in, and we did Suede in the first session. We did a 2-week session down at this residential studio, and out of that came Suedehead and a few other tracks for the album.
But every day is like Sunday, because it's been different times in my life, like in rehab and first time I drove, and then in prison, and just different things. It sounds a bit corny, but when I've heard the opening to it, and I've always thought, fuck, I know this tune, what is it? Even now I hear it and I think, I know this. And then you start saying, not until you start singing, I realise it's that. It's a fucking wicked tune. Makes me cry, that tune. It's that bad.
But yeah, a long time ago, yeah. It's amazing. It's flown by. That's what I'm saying though, it's a great thing about making good records, Pete. They're there forever, you know what I'm saying? It's not just I mean, that's why it's got to be good performance and everything, because it's there, isn't it? It's what people go back to years and years later.
It changes it's just a faction, Street Crocodiles, those bits like that.
Yeah.
I can sing them all day.
Yeah, that's the easy part. That's just that first note, that first dun, and then. But don't worry, don't break the balls over it. If you can't get that high note today, we'll come back and drop those in next week. Okay.
Breaking balls might help me get the high note.
Right. Then. So you up for doing just 2 more performances of it? Yeah.
Yeah.
See if we can crack it.
See there, I get you the best stuff. Priceless. You can't buy that stuff.
Smile.